Guys, I was ready to do a 250 sub special, and I was taken aback, but I prepared myself when it came to changing that to a 300 subscriber special. But right now, as of recording this voiceover, I am at 377 subscribers. So, I think it just might be high time that I do a mushroom milestone. If you are new to the channel, and a lot of you are, welcome. And when I hit 100 subscribers, my partner helped me figure out what I could do to be a sort of recurring celebration in honor of new subscriber milestones. And we came up with drawing this life cycle of a mushroom person theme. So at 100 subs, I drew a little mushroom gal walking through the woods with her mom, and today, since it is the holiday season, I wanted to draw something a little more Christmassy. Here I rough out the sketch of my toddler mushroom person, and I think I do have to be more careful about how I start to age this mushroom child going forward. It is my fault for not starting with a newborn baby for the first one, and for this one, it is also my fault that I did a heckin' age jump between the last drawing and this one. In my defense, small children age pretty quickly, and you sort of age slower as you grow older in a way. I don't know, I just don't think I've visually changed very much since 2016, so we'll see what happens as far as future drawings go. As you can see, I've started adding little chibi placeholders into my drawings, and that is because when you make YouTube videos, you feel like you can't keep putting out the same kind of content, and you have to sort of increase the excitement or pull for one reason or another every time you make a new video. So I have decided to pick a couple of my followers to draw, some old, some new, so 8 of the 9 little chibis are representative of subscribers, and the last one is something just a little special, an homage if you will. Before I jump into that whole thing, let's talk about some origin story. Where did Lady Splitchin come from? So the username Lady Splitchin was thought of years ago, sometime in 2015, maybe 2016, when I started watching Jacksepticeye. As sort of a thought exercise, I wondered what would my name be if I had a YouTuber handle named after a significant injury like his. One of the most notable injuries occurred when I was about 7 years old. I was playing a sort of follow the leader style game with my sister and cousin, tried to jump over a puddle, and needless to say, did not succeed. I ended up in the ER needing a lot of stitches, and to this day I still have a scar. And on top of that, I also have a bad habit of eating like I'm running out of time, no matter what the time constraints are, and I am notorious for spilling things. So the running joke is that my chin was never quite properly closed up, and that's why I'm always spilling things and missing my mouth, hence split chin. Now, in real life, my name is Colleen, which doesn't really lend itself well to a nickname like Jack to include in my username, so the next best thing was to give it pirate vibes. I was very close to being Captain Splitchin, but that felt a little too commanding for my personality, and thus, Lady Splitchin was spawned. Now, of course, 2016 is nowhere near June of 2022, and the name Lady Splitchin just sort of sat in the back of my mind until 2021 rolled around. And that's when I started posting art on Instagram under that name, and it wasn't until June of 2022, this year, that I moved my work to YouTube. There were a lot of things that made me decide to turn to YouTube. I had finished a sort of contract situation as a chemical engineer at a research and development place, and I just could not seem to pick up a second job to follow that one to save my life. And I sat back and realized that this was the first summer that I didn't have anything to work towards. I had graduated, gotten married to the love of my life, and was working last year, but this year I didn't have anyone else's expectations to live up to. I didn't have any of those standard goals to meet, and I was allowed to be something other than a cog in someone else's wheel. And I realized that I had never really considered a life where I was allowed to live working towards my own goals and on my own terms. Of course, that wasn't the thought that occurred to me when I started. It truly started as me just wanting to redraw childhood characters and share the series with others purely for fun. But as I noticed that more people seem to really enjoy it, I have had to take time to seriously consider whether or not I was going to try harder to return to chemical engineering or try content creation to see if the shoe also fit. And as much as I love chemical engineering and chemistry, there is a couple aspects to the corporate and engineering scene that I just don't appreciate, and I am in a very fortunate position that my husband, who is also an engineer, liked his job well enough and got paid enough that I could stay home and make art. And say what you want about being surprised that I'm both an artist with an engineering degree. I've heard shock from both sides, but as someone who has feet on both sides of the fence, I could really get into this. They're both incredibly difficult things to pursue for different reasons, and also a lot of the same reasons. But, you know, we gotta step back and be honest with ourselves. The STEM to content creator / artist pipeline is pretty strong, let alone just the engineer to content creator pipeline. And from that snap decision where I decided short form videos weren't really my style to now suddenly having a relatively decent following and consistent subscribers that aren't just friends of friends being nice and watching my stuff, it's been weird, especially having been raised in an environment where entertainment isn't really considered a viable career path, and where I've been conditioned to think that if I'm not earning money, then I'm not contributing to the people around me in any significant way. So I've had to do a lot of relearning and self-motivating and just reconstructing the way that I see the world. And yeah, I'm still incredibly anxious and terrified that things won't work out, that one of these days the algorithm is just gonna drop me like a hot potato and I'm going to be lost in the billions of other videos that are coming out. And of course, my anxiety surrounding money has always been unhealthily off the charts. But having you guys around helps so much with that, and I wanted to thank a few of you individually for your support. Yes, I know I've already started drawing them, and I'm sure the goat has already been recognized by their creator. I figured since my timing will be off anyways, there's no point in lining up the thank yous perfectly to the drawing. And yes, that was a time skip because I forgot to keep recording, which is kind of iconic. This is Baron, Terrapin's green gremlin goat, OC/persona/avatar. If you have read through any of my comments, Terrapin is always there. They are a very close friend of mine that I actually met online and have never met in real life, but we've had plenty of heart-to-heart moments, D&D together, and Terrapin was there at the start of it all. They did the absolute most when my first video went out, and still are probably the biggest and most active supporter of my art. They are also an excellent artist themselves, and I highly recommend taking a look at their work. Terrapin, I just wanted to thank you for having been there from the beginning, reminding me that it's okay to take breaks, and that it's okay to prioritize, that it's okay to set boundaries, and that I'm still a good DM no matter how often scheduling issues come up. I love you dearly, and I just wanted to make sure you got the recognition and appreciation that you deserve. Alright, this little chibi I'm currently working on is Dragon Freak Gaming 78, probably what I will forever consider my OG fan. Dragon has this adorable little hero character avatar that they created that I really would love to draw in a more developed style someday, if that's okay with Dragon. But as I said, they have been around for a long time. She has commented something genuine and sweet on nearly every single one of my videos, followed me across all of my platforms, and I am always so excited to see them in the comments. Dragon has stayed with me enthusiastically no matter what kind of subject matter I'm drawing. League of Legends, D&D, redraws, you name it. You in particular, Dragon, thank you so much. You have truly been someone who keeps me going, and I mean this in the least creepy way possible, but I hope I never forget you. I hope I always have a little extra time to seek out your comments and respond to them, and if ever comes a day that you can no longer comment or that I can no longer find your comments, I just want you to know how much your support means to me right now. This guy on my shoulder is actually one of my subs that I have met in real life. We went to the same college, but he was actually dorm roommates with my husband in high school before that. Black Shadow is a huge Persona fan, if you can't tell from the little costume. He actually was the first person who I knew in real life who actually worked really hard to start and maintain a YouTube channel, which I found incredibly inspiring. Much like Terrapin, he sent the link to my first YouTube video out to tons of people, let me promote it in his Discord server, and he also asks me from time to time to make thumbnails for him. So just know that the only reason my thumbnails are any sort of interesting or eye-catching, it's because I have had a lot of practice making them for Black Shadow before doing them for my own channel. Thanks, Black Shadow, for everything, and I apologize for how long it takes me to animate things and make thumbnails. It's a work in progress, I promise. This next one is kind of interesting. Another person that I have talked to but haven't met in real life, Austin. He actually competes with Terrapin in like a mutual Discord server to be the first to promote that my Friday video is out, which is just the most heartwarming thing. And please don't mind, Austin, that I've drawn you with a little snot bubble. It's because the first time I talked to you over Discord, you had COVID, and then I also happened to get COVID a couple weeks later. And also, I just really like characters with nose bubbles in their design, so please forgive me. I genuinely think you're great and am eternally grateful for your support. Next in the lineup is a relatively new follower. Now, I know we have had a lot of new followers that have been very dedicated about commenting on recent videos, but as sort of a representative for them, I decided to draw Merida. I'm joking, kind of. This is actually user Maximalist, whose profile picture is Merida from Brave, so I made a little chibi Merida. Maximalist is a fellow person with Poland in their blood, and I just wanted to thank them for coming for D&D content and sticking around for the shenanigans. And I also wanted to thank you, Maximalist, for not leaving even though you heard my painful accents while I was talking about being Polish. I'm glad it brought you joy and not embarrassment. But again, thank you so much for your support. It truly means the world to me. Bernilla or Bernilla, I'm actually not sure how to pronounce your username, but I have seen your username across multiple platforms checking out my work. You have been incredibly supportive across all of them, even though I don't post a whole lot on Instagram or anything. I noticed you had a super fun profile picture, and I hope you don't mind. I took a look at your character designs on your Instagram page, and I decided to draw a fun little chibi version of your avatar. I just wanted to thank you for being supportive across the board, even in my less popular social media presences. It really means a lot to me that you want to see my work, even though it can be repetitive and I don't really post much. It's just nice to know that you want to connect with my work no matter where it is. I do have a question though. Wolf ears and human ears, or just wolf ears? Your OC is depicted always with their hair down, and I was just curious because it was a conscious decision I had to make to go back and check the reference sheet and cover up the human ears that I had originally drawn in. Either way, you have it. Super cute OC, and thank you so much for your support. And lastly, I have Gleamy Arts here. Gleamy Arts is another YouTuber who followed me really early on in my YouTube career, I guess, if you want to call it that. Pretty much from the first or second video, something like that. She was way ahead of me as far as audience and content goes, and commented on a lot of older videos, helping them get out into the world. She remained interested in my content regardless of the niche I had chosen to draw, and yeah, Gleamy Arts, thank you so much for believing in me so early on in my channel. It really means a lot to me. This is not a follower, it's more of a reminder of our roots, where it all began. She was the start of the nervous, silly shenanigans. She had the closing screen of the who knows, not me, that unintentionally became something I do at the end of every video. She's the werewolf that made me hate drawing hair so much and caused my wrist to cramp up, and now I have another fun running gag of hating drawing hair to use in all my videos. I just included her as a reminder to myself to stay humble, to stay true to myself, to continue sharing my personal humor and my love of art with people, and not worrying about appealing to everyone all the time. This was 6-7 months ago when this all began with Wisteria, my werewolf redraw. Of course, this barely scratches the surface of all the many subscribers and supporters I have. A lot of you are anonymous or with private accounts, and also there's just no way that I could represent all 377 of you in such a short amount of time. But I do have this one gray anonymous chibi to be you right in the center of the drawing, and I'm so grateful for your support, and I am so lucky that I get to pursue such a cool hobby and am supported by so many people. It's all thanks to you. While this slow zoom is happening, I would like to quickly do some honorable mentions. Krita, an artist that I have mentioned before on my channel, a real-life art friend that I have also only talked to over Discord. I love her dearly. She has been there from the beginning. She has been incredibly supportive. I opted out of drawing one of her OCs just because I have done so before, but Krita, know that I love you very much, and I am so glad that I get to be a part of your life. Kuruganeko, Moostar Dreams, and the Osmium Nerd, among among others. But the three of you in particular are recent subscribers as far as I've been aware, and you always leave such helpful comments. And your comments clearly show that you're actively engaged in my content and connecting with my videos, and it just feels really, really good. I love seeing you all in the comments. Thank you so much for that. Tamanegi, you know what? You comment the most random stuff, but honestly, you've been there for every single one of my videos, and if it boosts a video, it helps, so I'm not going to complain, you funky little onion. Aidcrafter and Saphiclash, both of you are closer to my husband than you are to me, but you came to support a friend of a friend and stuck around instead of just being sort of a subscriber out of obligation. I am so honored that you enjoy my D&D content, and I look forward to getting to play D&D, possibly with both or either of you. And last but not least, Blazin' Max, another person who is extremely active with supporting my content on multiple different platforms. It truly means so much to me that you enjoy my content so much that you want to see it in every format that it's available. That's incredible. I appreciate it so much. I see you and thank you. And I know it's not much, it's just a little drawing, a couple of honorable mentions, 15 names out of hundreds of you that partake in my content. But I really wanted to do this because I can right now. I'm not a huge channel, and I may never be in the ranks of people like Markiplier or Rachel Moxie or Ginny D, but what I do know is that someday I might be a little too caught up in my own projects or have one too many comments to like and respond to them all. And right now, while I have the chance, I just want to appreciate as many of you as I personally can, because who knows what the future will hold. Like, it might be the far future, but also the internet is extremely unpredictable. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, I had barely scratched the surface of 200 subscribers, and now we're very much nearing 400. At that point, I won't be able to memorize all the usernames of the kindest commenters or have this close connection and conversations with subscribers, so I really wanted to do that now while I have the chance. Thank you all again very much. Whether or not I mentioned you by name, even if you've just clicked on my video, just know that I appreciate your interaction very much. And next week, we will be back to our D&D content, some redraw content. I have some exciting sewing content pretty soon, and I hope you all have happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Boxing Day, all of the above. None of the above. I just hope I managed to bring a little cheer into your day, and I hope you end up well rested and get a break. And please hope and pray that I also feel well rested soon and get a break, because I'll be honest, the odds are pretty slim. But who knows? Not me.